So we all remember the movie The Sixth Sense, right? Remember the premise in that movie? Bruce Willis dies in a incident at his home with his wife. And then throughout the whole movie he's interacting with other people. And there's a little kid that watches him a lot. And of course the premise is that it turns out Bruce Willis had died in that incident at the house and didn't know it and kept going about his life until he finally did realize that he was actually a spirit among all of us. Well, there are two incidences in my life that I feel like were my kind of Bruce Willis Sixth Sense moments in terms of, did I really survive them? Or is this experience my spirit self? Everything has happened since. One of them was when I was hit by lightning on the Clinton Dam and knocked unconscious and came to and rose from the ground with a dozen or so other people that also were knocked unconscious. The second actually occurred very close to where I'm at right now, which is why I'm talking about it. So hold on a moment, we'll get to the spot, and I'll review the story. So the year was 1977. I was 14, and my friend Mark Elliott Gridley was with me, also 14. We had been on a hike with my parents, Bill and Kay Kelly, on this trail. And we got way ahead of them, so much so that when we got to the end of the trail, we decided to wait, and they didn't ever really seem to catch up. So this is tough going right here, a little bit off the main trail. So we got a little bored, got a little restless, and decided to go ahead and explore the main feature ourselves. Or actually I did. Mark at this point was content, I think, to stay there and wait for him, but I got restless. And I decided to explore the main feature even more. But to get to it, I'm going to have to go a different route. This is a dead end. So, stay tuned. I'm going to have to go back around up that way. So this was the main attraction. This is what was at the end of the trail. Ouzel Falls. So we got up here. As I said, we were restless. And I decided to climb a little bit up a area next to it. The area next to it is right there. That cliff, ladies and gentlemen. I started climbing up from the bottom, and when I got about somewhere up here, I realized it was a mistake. Mark came up behind me. You couldn't go back down again because you couldn't get a foothold. So we had to keep going up. We had no choice. And we finally did get up to here. I remember when I got up to this part, I grabbed a root that came out, and I was left with one hand holding on. But I managed, out of pure adrenaline and fear, to pull myself over the top. I turned around, and I looked down, and Mark was near the top, but not there yet. And it was the scariest sight I ever saw, because he had no chance if he fell. It's a sheer drop down. What's interesting is the topography has changed. It used to be you could stand right there, Now the water goes that direction because we started climbing right there and went up this cliff. It's God's honest truth. How we ever made it past some of those points, I will never ever know. Let me wipe off the lens here a little bit. I'll never know how we got past that lip right there. I really don't. It does look very familiar though. There were boulders right here. Now they're underwater. Father was standing right down here somewhere, and he was calling to us. Looking around, he had no idea where we were. He had no idea. He was mad. He was steaming. We were standing on the top. When I finally pulled Mark over the rim. I literally pulled him over the rim. We're up there watching Bill Kelly down here, yelling and screaming and looking for us. He can't hear us. We know he can't come back down again. We ended up going upstream next to this river, this creek, and going across it on a log. We then hiked over this way and came down somewhere over there. I don't know how we did it. As I look at it now, it actually does seem impossible. Of course, the water was different. It seems like the waterfall was further over about here, which left that open. But as I look at it now, I don't understand how in the world we got over this part right here. We must have gone in that crevice there. I don't know. That's why I've often wondered, did I survive it or not? Did Mark survive it or not? Or is this all real life sixth sense?